What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745. And today, the Age of Ultron Hawkeye has finally been released. So of course we're going to cover him. No matter what we do, it seems like Ant Week keeps getting interrupted. But don't worry, I do have a few more videos planned for that. So they'll come out shortly. For now, this alternate costume is definitely our priority. So, we'll take a look at exactly what he does, then a few of the other items for sale, and finally we'll check him out in PvP. First, I do want to give a special thank you to Agent Nadem, who in part has brought you this video. So let's hear it for them.
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
The first thing that you'll notice is this alternate costume isn't too terribly expensive. You'll only pay 48 CP for the Generalist and 34 for the Tactician. That's fine, and of course we're going to get them both. But what exactly does this costume bring? Well, it's going to have Master Marksman and Rapid Fire, so nothing new to see there. But he does come as a Generalist, so you can use the Inspiring E-ISO. And he grants his Avengers Age of Ultron teammates be an Avenger. The Avengers Age of Ultron Avengers now have a chance to interrupt and counter range attacks. Now the cool thing about this passive is, I've been wondering, where is the range attack hate? I mean, for melee we have so much more mobilized, or so it seems. And then we have something as bad as the Huygens Eye, that really locks down unarmed attacks. But then ranged attackers, especially Enchantress, just get to go off. Well, maybe this passive will make someone like Enchantress pay. That's at least my hope, and it was my first thoughts when I saw this. Now as far as his abilities, they may or may not have gotten an upgrade. We'll check that out right after we get through this first page of updates. By the way, the Tactician of course is also welcome, but we were enjoying using our Blaster Heroic Age Hawkeye, especially since there were so many Bruiser Safeguard agents, and of course characters like Null and Kurth. But moving on, of course, once again with the new costume comes a new E-ISO for your agent that basically mimics its passive. So for 30 gold you can have your agent have a chance to interrupt and counter range attacks. Depending on the meta, this may be worth it, but we'll have to see. The proc rate's also going to play a pretty massive role. But moving on, the Arachnid set is already on sale, and if you want to see my review on it, I already made a video and I'll link that on the screen. It's an incredible set, let's just put it that way, so make sure you check out my video. And you may have seen me using the Relentless Rapier in quite a few videos recently. That's because it's become one of my favorite weapons in the game. Now as far as the next page, there's nothing else new, but with the Mandible, I'm going to be doing a full set review, so you'll see what I think about that. That's going to be part of Ant Week, and I'll have that video posted sometime this weekend. And now heading over to our team page, sometimes this can be deceptive, because for whatever reason, new buffs and debuffs don't always show up on abilities. But when it comes to Hawkeye, he seems pretty much unchanged. As far as I can see, nothing added. But hey, nothing lost. Okay, that's not much of a bright side. He didn't have too much to lose. But we'll go ahead and recruit both of these alternate costumes, and then we'll check out the Generalist in PvP. Now if you can only buy one, I would say buy it. It's a different class from what he usually has, and you already have a Tactician Hawkeye. So I say mix things up a bit. Or if you're a completionist like me, then buy them both. Now after we equip this costume, I am going to show you how we socket it, and then we'll test them out in PvP with two different teams. By the way, you don't have to worry about accuracy, so I would advise one of two routes. Either go full powerful, that's health and attack, or go for stalwart. I'm going full stalwart, but I'm going to be honest with you, maybe I should have gone with powerful. But stalwart does give us defense. I just don't know how much that's going to help us against Enchantress and Pestilence Beast, for example. But hey, there are other teams out there sometimes. So after we finish socketing all of our stalwart, which we just recently stocked up on, and now we're going to get kind of low again. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and equip the Inspiring and Powered ISO 8. That grants our entire team morale boost, so it increases all stats. This is always a great ISO to add to your team, so it's good having a generalist when you can. Spider-Man Noir, anyone? And just to let you know, he's getting very close to level 9, so I'm going to have a PvP video of him at the latest on Monday. Now for a ISO, we're going to be pretty plain, and just use aiming on most of his attacks. So we'll go ahead and place that on his level 1, but then on his level 2, we are going to use bursting. That way we have an AoE shield breaker attack. Then for his trick shot, we'll go ahead and throw an aiming on it as well. Nothing too fancy, but it'll get the job done. Then as far as his level 9, you cannot equip any AISO to it currently. That's because it registers as a debuff. I'm hoping one day they add AISO to put on debuffs, but so far nothing yet. Now jumping into our first team up, of course we had to use him with Kate Bishop. There's no other Age of Ultron Avengers on our team just yet, but this is his greatest team up, so we had to see it in action. We're facing a Skirn and Kurth team, so they should do a lot of damage, but hopefully we can get to them before they take us out. Kate gets to begin, and so we'll use her level 1, then Hawkeye will follow it up. He does a lot of damage and gets her very close to death, just about as close as you can get it, but she manages to live. Fortunately, she used her level 1, so we got off pretty easy. Next, with Hawkeye, after putting pinpoint target on their agent, we use an arrow volley. That's because it'll finish off Kurth, and it still has a chance to do a follow-up attack on their agent. Then right away on Skirn's first turn, you see that we do get an interrupt passive proc. So we hit her pretty hard and interrupt her ranged attack. I almost feel bad for this enemy team. It seems that everything went our way. So with this final rapier attack, that's going to be the end of the first match already. After this victory, we're going to use an Age of Ultron teammate, and it's going to be none other than Black Widow. We're also going to switch out the Vigilante mask for the Legion Pulse Rifle. And I'll be honest with you, for this one we searched for a Pestilence Beast and Enchantress team, because we wanted to try out our passive. But oddly, when you want this team, you can't find it. So this is who we ended up getting, and unfortunately for them, Black Widow's first, and we use her as a scrapper to take advantage of Enchantress. So that's one thing you may want to try out. The Age of Ultron Black Widow comes as a scrapper, and with her stealthy attack she's going to really lay into Enchantress. We almost took her down before her first attack, so after using pinpoint target on the enemy agent, I could easily take down Enchantress with a stealthy attack from Hawkeye. But she's not up next, and we see an opportunity to stun their agent, so we take it. Next, Pestilence Beast comes dangerously close to knocking out our agent, and that would have been pretty bad because Enchantress would still be alive. Since we lived though, we're going to use the Relentless Rapier, and that knocks out the most annoying character in the game, at least for me personally. Oh, and don't get me wrong, I beat team after team that was running this same combination. They really didn't give me too many problems. That is, after I changed my setup to deal with them. But the matches were almost always annoying, and they typically went way longer than I would have liked. I don't know, there's just something about that character that I don't like. Maybe it's her million actions. Okay, that's definitely it. But Hawkeye takes down Pestilence Beast, and unfortunately he really didn't get any of his Be an Avenger procs. At least not in this match, but I still think he's going to be great against Enchantress. Now this costume may not be as good as Heroic Age, but depending on teams you're facing, those interrupts could really come in handy. Truthfully, it could even be a match saver. There are some very nasty ranged attacks in this game, so I'll have to keep testing it out and see what he interrupts and what he doesn't. And then I'll definitely make another video on him in the very near future. That's going to be it for this one, but I want to thank you all for watching and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck and take care.